So this is my 1995 IBM Aptiva that I gutted out. It was a 66 megahertz. It was a DX2, and now it is a 6700K Skylake i7. I figure the best way to kind of show it off is just to boot it up and show you around the OS a little bit, and just a sort of an updated video that I did last year actually on this thing, but more updated, and it's really just for hard forums. So this Windows 10 logo I'm looking to change, but I can't get the file to sign after I modify it. It's going to say Windows 95 just like that right there. That is the classic sound. This monitor is actually 1920 by 1200, so I'm going to start screen capturing, so I'm going to have to change it to 1080, but this is what it normally looks like. Okay, so first thing, here's the desktop, and I've replaced all of the icons to period correct-ish, kind of 90s, early 2000s icons. All of these are new programs, with the exception of AC/DC. That's an actual original AC/DC 2.7 or something like that from the 90s, which actually still works pretty good as a photo viewer. But everything here is what you think. So these two are messaging apps. MIRC is actually Discord. Winamp is Spotify. So they're all, like, this is the Microsoft Store, which I never use, but I didn't really know. I guess I could afford this to MSN.com, but I don't ever go to that. So all of these are mapped to just different modern applications. That's Sony Vegas, that's Photoshop. This opens up tabs with relating to cryptocurrency, bitcoins and stuff like that. Classic start menu here, and I've got it all hooked up to look just like Windows 95. I know that the screen capture software is going to mess up the colors of these icons here for the folders, and the yellow is not showing of the folder, but nothing I can really do about that. It looks normal. Actually, I can just show you with the camera that it actually does look correct. There's Windows. Oh, look at that. Windows just throwing apps on my computer. That's nice. Gotta love that. You don't really own your computer anymore with Windows 10. Yep, this actually is Windows 10, by the way. Right there. And I'm gonna go back to the camera here. So the cool part about this is, whoops. So we've got the floppy drive. Now I know a lot of people have seen this last year, but I'm just gonna go over it again because it is pretty cool. It's not really a floppy drive. It is an SD card reader. So all these discs are really just SD cards. And I can't think of a more fun way to use SD cards than by doing that to it. Gotta have Encarta 1994 and the Windows 98 upgrade CD. So if you pop the disc in, You can see there, it is drive A. And inside I've got this disk is just kind of loaded with a ton of, well, I don't know. I really wish the icons would cache and not have to load each time I open this up, but just a ton of stuff in here. This is the original.
Happy days is good before a live audience.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the original Windows 95 version. I don't want to say version, but the actual Weezer video that was on the Windows 95 CD. And I remember discovering this on that back then. It was just such an amazing thing. Put it a little bit of volume so I can actually hear.
Please try the fish.
And I'll go back to the camera here, and you can see that's actually coming from that disk. There's no tricks here. I can make it angry, and VLC doesn't know what to do now. If I pop it back in, and it starts playing again. So this is just kind of a rambling session. What else did I do? I feel like there's so much. Oh, so yeah, I guess this is the question you've been really asking, is how did I get the Windows, the look, the title bar back? I wish I could say that's genuine. It is absolutely not. It is a program called Window Blinds, and if I just click this and give it a few seconds, you can see I'm right back to ugly Windows. I mean, my icons are all going to stay the same, obviously, but it is based off of a skin by this gentleman, Code War here. His has a more of a 98 style to it, and it's kind of broken. I'm not even gonna go into it, but I had to fix quite a few things on it to make it work properly, and I still have a few things that I haven't ironed out, so I haven't released this yet. I'm gonna make a video on this computer, and I will share everything that I did to make this computer go into like Windows 95 mode. You just heard the Windows ding there. Sounds, that's another thing. So I just went through and changed everything pretty much. What else? What else can I show you? Let me see. Oh, this is cool. So, Netscape here. Yeah. This is the thread in the forums I've really been checking out, because obviously with this computer here, having a flat screen is just unacceptable, and really got to get a CRT going. So I've been really having my eye on a FW900, or I should say the HP version of it. And there's a gentleman that's not about 20 minutes away from me who says he's giving one away, but I haven't been able to get a hold of him yet because I can't send private messages yet. The HP version is beige instead of the Sony, which is sort of a silverish, I don't know, silverish color. But anyway, this is actually a fork of Firefox called Pale Moon, and it's running a, where is it? Nope. It is running an appearance extension called Moonscape, and I've done a few things to it, like that splash screen you saw there. That I added that in. And this is actually a portable version because I did so much customization to it. I'm afraid that I will wipe the computer out one day and totally forget to back up all the files that I customized to make it this way. And I will probably be releasing a download of this if anybody wants one. It goes to a lot of original web pages. This one's from 1994. So it's just kind of neat. I like this here. Very, very true. I mean, it's, like I said, it's a fork of, so if I go to ask jeeves.net, go to start me up. What is it? Start me up, Windows 95. Yes. Let's see, this is the one. I've done quite a few takes of this video, so. I've actually got on the floppy disk, what do I have here? Video. This is, I couldn't even really sit through it. It was pretty cringy.
Claims of up to 250 characters. Now, do we really want to leave that phone for Bill? I think we'll just delete it.
Oh man, I need that mouse pad there.
Okay, go ahead. Destroy my art, my vision. It's my vision. You're destroying it. Did I make
Task force.
Such a cringe fest. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. What else did I do here? Personalize. And this is really nothing amazing. What is it? Yeah, lock screen and then screensaver settings. They've buried the screensaver settings in here. It's weird now. And it takes forever to actually open up, but you got to put the classic screensavers on there. This is what I roll with all the time, is flying windows, but I've got a couple others on there, like After Darks, flying toasters, and toast. My girlfriend's computer next to me, this is what she actually has on there. 3D maze. So I will, I guess I'm just gonna show off the computer a little bit now, and then I'll just use the rest of the video to kind of ramble and just play around, and I don't know if anybody has any interest, they can continue watching, but I think that's the main part of it, really. Let me actually put that back together, get the camera out again. All right, so, and let me adjust the microphone as well. So there it is. It is a 1995 IBM Aptiva, as I said earlier. Inside there's a CD-ROM. This is a DVD-ROM from a 2009 era HP. It still does work. Windows 98 in there. And it's funny because all I'll go back to the computer. All I really use that disk in there for is for the icon here. I'll wait till it loads up. The autoplay. And I really wanted to get a there we go, just for that. That's the whole point of that CD being in there. Let's see, well, a little bit of, there's a bug right there, I can see it, look at that. The whole top of that is clear, transparent, and I'm sure Nope. Yeah, that's the problem with this. It's not really the window blinds there, this theme here. There we go. So I can't see the top of that. Anyway, so I didn't want to cut the factory blanking plates. These things are not easy to come by, and when they are on eBay, they're, you know, a couple $100. So I put a USB 3.0 port there, headphone jack, and microphone jack from the front panel audio. So that just kind of keeps things clean here. That is not the same color as this. I have to get some paint mixed, but I'm probably just going to upgrade this to a Blu-ray drive. I did have a slot loading Caddy CD-ROM drive, or yeah, it's a CD-ROM. Unfortunately, I can't get it to fit in here because I started converting the Caddy load CDs or mechanism to be a Blu-ray. But I'm going to just get a Blu-ray for this because I can't get it actually in here. So let me just shut up and start opening this thing up. So this chassis was used from 1992 for the IBM PS1 Consultant. It looked just like this, except it had a blue button, different badging here, but it looked identical. A little bit older style side panel, or vents on the side there. And that just slides off. It's on tracks. The front of this thing is not complete either, so that's kind of a hairy disaster that I don't really show off too much. But here it is. And too much work to actually flip this thing around, so I'm going to actually open up my Netscape browser again, and I'm just going to run through all the pictures that I took last year of this thing. And let me just put this back together, because the back of it is really where the magic is. I mean, so let's go back. Alrighty. Oh, it's already open. I can't open two instances. The only way to do that is to actually click new window. I think that's because it's a portable app. It gets angry if you do it that way. Okay, so this is the thread that made this thing. Well, it's from 2 Reddit posts, and it went kind of viral last year. So this is what it looks like on the other side. There's the front there. I actually cut this here so I have easy access if I want to, I don't want to pull the motherboard if I have to do something with the processor or change the heatsink or whatnot. That's the back. That's where all the magic really happened. This is my same table, just different location in the room, and smaller 19-inch HP monitor there. And the speakers, they have to go. Oh, if anybody's wondering what kind of keyboard this is, I'm just going to go ahead, and I should have mentioned this earlier. This is a NMB Right Touch this is from 1988 or something like that. The whole back of this thing had to be cut out, the existing metal, and I got 16 gauge steel, which is what the rest of the chassis is made out of, and welded that in. I'll go through those pictures, and when we get to those pictures, we'll get to them. So again, from the fronts and sides, this thing looks like factory. That's kind of a mean looking picture too. I like that. I got a lot of comments from angry people being upset about my temperatures. My temperatures must be through the roof. Well, they're not. That's a pretty beefy fan there. It's from a Dell, and it's just geared towards static pressure. It's obnoxious and loud, but it never really has to ramp up because people think you have to build computers and screen doors nowadays. This is not a super efficient video card, which is the R9 390, but the CPU, all that heat is going right out the back there, and the heat that this does generate gets sucked right out there. So No biggie. This thing has a 140 millimeter fan up here too, which I would like to be able to control in the future, because it's never come on since I've had this computer. Never, not even once. So it would be nice in an emergency situation to be able to crank that thing up, but I play games and it doesn't. Nothing needs to ramp up. Here's the disc, so I'll just. You already saw that part I actually showed you, but this is the. Let's see if I can restart this. Okay. So this is just showing how easy the SD cards pop in and out of there, which is kind of cool. Okay, so this is what the computer actually looked like. These are all ISA slots. This is a baby AT form factor. So you can see the riser card there. And totally different setup. I mean, just, I don't know if that's proprietary or what that standard was, but yeah, so a bunch of ISA slots there. I don't even think there was any PCI. So this isn't. I got a little too excited. I cut this thing up. None of the pictures of the original. I mean, aside from the exterior shots, like that is the first day I got it home. It's just a better shot. Let's see. So this was the first step. Now this is the front of the computer here, and the entire back was just cut right out. There's that piece of metal. Here's a mock-up power supply, I/O, and PCI slots right there. And I made really small cuts, and yeah, I just figured it was easier to take it easy and be cautious instead of adding metal back. So I just made small cuts, and I was constantly test fitting, always test fit. This is I forget what size this is, but this is I'm tapping the new threads for the standoffs in the motherboard there, for the motherboard, but in the chassis. A lot of bracketry I had to get rid of, or smack it back down with a hammer, and there was a lot more stuff here. Just cut out everything that was going to be in the way. Just a couple tack welds there, and here's the $43 hole saw. I think it's 5 inches. I forget what 120 millimeters, how many inches that is, but or 4.5 inches or something like that. But yeah, that was $43 for that thing, just to use it to cut off one hole. So I have to keep making some more case mods like this so I can utilize that thing. The reason for this too is, just tack it in there, make sure everything works. Where I was doing all this work is where I didn't have all the hardware to put back into it to test it. So I was just I took a really slow pace on this, just to make sure I felt good about everything before I really went crazy and put even more spot welds on there. And the reason for the spot weld is that you can't just go crazy and just weld a line. This metal is too thin. It'll be all warped and it'll fit funny and look terrible. So you do a spot weld there, and you come over here, do a weld, you just do the little spots until they're all connected, and then you grind it all away with that guy there. That's what I used. That's called a flap disc, I believe, and it's nice and smooth. Then you can paint it, and everything is good. This is going into the floppy mod now. So this is the original cable that came with the Aptiva. This is the edge card connector. This would be drive B for a 5.5 inch floppy disk, like the actual floppy. And the pins line up the same. It's actually pretty amazing. You can see the little triangles. Actually, it works perfectly. And I just use that as a method for the pins. So I cut it in half, cut it right here, cut it right here, and then I bent the pins up, and I filed little points on the edges, so I had a good connection. Those points weren't really refined to this point yet when I took these pictures. I made a few more of these floppy disk drives, and they have points on them now. This is the Transcend card reader, and I just basically soldered You can see that down there. This is for the LED, this wire. These two wires are LED. These two wires are for the insertion switch. So when you put the disc in, it tells the SD card reader, okay, start reading. There's media installed. So that ribbon cable is what you're seeing looping to the backside of the card slot. And you can see the little pins. Once the disc's in there, you can see all the little bent up pins there. So, you know, this is the video I probably should have made a year ago. The first video I ever uploaded on this channel. This is just going to be an unlisted video. I'll probably do a better version of this when I do a recap on this thing publicly. But like I said, this is just for you guys, hard forums. So, yeah. And this is the original disk drive that came with the Aptiva. I'm not actually, I still have it. It works fine. I just, I went with a couple of newer ones, revised ones, and I actually did hook up the read-write switch. So if you, I'll get the thing out again. Whoa. Yeah, so if you actually flip this down, you will not be able to write onto this SD card, which is kind of cool. So everything is 100% functional. So I don't know why. I'm not over this. A year later, I'm still really into this. I think it's the greatest thing ever for some reason. So here's the one of the first tests. Obviously, it worked prior, and then I got my camera out because I was so excited. So there's the pins there. You can see them. And you'll see it on the computer here. Boom, there's the autoplay. Now this is the CD-ROM drive. I just notched it out there. There was a nice channel there beside the mechanism where I just ran the wires, so that's nothing really all that special. That's the paint that doesn't match, but that's the closest that I had. And that's that. So there's another little bug. This seems to be with every Windows blind skin. Is certain things like this browser, Pale Moon or whatever, happens to do this. Not all things do it, like actual Explorer shells, or they don't do that. But haven't figured that one out. I should probably ask some questions on their forums. Anyway, so I'm just gonna spend the rest of this video just sort of playing around and clicking around, and I don't know. That's what I'll do. So I'll go back to my floppy disk. What do I have here? I've kind of gotten to this genre called vaporwave, and it kind of goes. It's based around the mid '90s and stuff. So, like for instance, if I go to playing Winamp, there's this song here I particularly like. We got Milk Drop on here. Spacebar changes plugins. Or not plugins, but what it's doing.
You've got mail.
This video is going to get flagged for using this song, I'm almost positive. Yeah, but I still love this. What a trip. Yeah, it's just early 90s sound and stuff. And it's slowed down. It's I don't know. I dig it. What else do we have here? Oh, well, I guess that's all the pictures from the build. I guess I didn't go through this because these are all out of order. Yeah, this is that program ACDC. I used to use this back in the day, and I was actually able to find it. It still works. It's 32-bit. Found a key online, but I think that's great. It still works. Just playing the GIFs there. That's pretty cool. I think these are all the ones that are actually uploaded. These are the same exact pictures that are on there. Oh, that's a new one. I didn't upload that, I guess. Yeah, you can actually see the yeah, that goes in a little more detail. Now you see why I put some points on those pins there. This is taking, you know, the SD card is a nicely designed, obviously engineered to work the way it works, and you're just taking it and just doing this crude nonsense to it, but man, is it cool to have that floppy disk doing its thing. Yeah, so. And other junk do I have? Oh, this is kind of cool. This still works in Windows. This is from 1995.
What is this?
This program
wait, something
or
cool
game.
Beavis and Butthead are...
Which it's a point and click, and you can just tell by the buttons how old this is. Actually, let me see. Will it actually? No, it's gonna load. It's gonna try to load a help file, which now goes to. That's stupid. It is 95 though. I wanted this game when it came out, but I didn't have a computer at the time. Mini games. Oh, I haven't unlocked them yet. I had a save file on this, but I accidentally deleted it.
Let's get started, people.
Hold still, damn it! Beavis? Yeah. That's Dad. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's over the car. Yeah, it's over the car, man.
I did have to install a Kodak Indigo. What was it? I actually put it in the so let's see, games, and then yeah, I had to. It's one of these two. This IV. It's a Kodak. Because this is just basically a video that's playing. Because it's point and click.
What's he like?
This isn't really a bad game. I gotta give this a good playthrough.
Check out Mrs. Dicky.
I love that it still works though. What else do we have in here? We got a ton of stuff. I'm not sure. Some of this stuff's really good. Some of it's just kind of a novelty, I guess. This is Spotty Amp, which is kind of cool. This is actually Spotify. They made this after Winamp got discontinued. But this version of Spotty Amp also has Milk Drop installed. So I'll go ahead and just completely close that out of there. This is an album I was listening to. What is it? Kind of a disco sound to it. But that's actually Spotify. Like if I open up, you can see listening on Spotty Amp. So if I pause, you can see it pause there. See how it's controlling it? And it's independent of actual Spotify. I mean, I could just have this on just a computer, and so you can. Those are all my things there. If you've stuck around this long, I apologize. So yeah, this is just kind of me rambling and screwing around here. Windows 95. Oh yeah, this works too. I'm surprised. This was on the Windows 95 disc. CD. I remember playing this vaguely as a kid. But I think, just like today, I haven't really given this much of a chance. I was more interested in playing Heretic or Doom, Hexen. What else do we have here? Mall Quest. Stuff. It's just kind of funny. I like to play things in windowed mode. It's just funny because it really looks like a 90s game. I mean, the graphics are a little bit too good. I forget. Oh, where's the yeah, you have like a shopping list. I don't know. What is it? If you need to check your shopping, look down. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, so you're just going around and you gotta find the stuff on the list. Alright, well, I'm just wasting time. Let me boot my camera back up so we can actually shut it down. You can hear the ta-da, start, shut down. Put the volume back up on the speakers. And you can hear that classic shutdown sound. So, yeah, thanks for making it this far. There was really no need to do it. But, yeah, sub to my channel. I'll probably have an update on this at some point. I'm not in the habit of making any promises anymore because it takes me forever to do anything. But, yeah, if you like stuff like this, retrofits and whatnot. Actually, I'll give you you know what? If you made it this far, I'll show you something else I just finished. This is an exclusive preview. So, it's just an ordinary 1968 Western Electric telephone. Wait, you see that? You hear that? Okay. The phone off. And if I dial 0 first, I'll do like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hear a little tone. And that is what I dialed.
Number and dial again, or dial 611 for customer.
Hang up the phone. And I don't have to make, that's just the Bluetooth function of it. It's actually Wi-Fi as well. And yes, there's a battery in there. And the ringer does work. See, I'll make a phone call. Make a phone call without that. I'll dial the local weather service. We're supposed to get 3, 4. We're supposed to get snow tonight. 0, 0. 1, 3. And I'm going to edit out the advertisement in the beginning.
Welcome to the Weatherline Forecast Service, a 24-hour community service. The time is 10:12. Current temperature, 35 degrees.
Hi, I'm 13 WAM Chief Meteorologist Glenn Johnson. Here's a look at our updated forecast for this Thursday, November 9th. We know we're going to get a rapid change this evening. Temperatures are going to drop through the 40s, into the 30s, and eventually down to about...
So, that's that. And that's how you actually charge it there. There's a barrel connector there. And I've got these two are active. So you can plug it into a actual jack for this thing. And you can hook up you could do dial-up modem, you could do answering machine, caller ID, and it's a portable rotary telephone. So, thanks for watching.